We're live. Let's do this.
Awesome.
So, welcome everybody to Witch Bitch, where we talk real tea. And today I'm actually really excited that we're back on these because we've had a bit of a break.
Yeah.
But we're starting off again with a bit of a banger. We're talking about the ancient warrior queen Zenobia, who I had never heard about until I watched a YouTube video of this guy exploring Syria, and what's actually happened is the temple, I think it's like, I guess it's now a temple, but it wasn't back in the day. But yeah, it's a temple and it's connected to Zenobia, and it was completely destroyed by ISIS and like inhabited, as like a base by them. And watching this video, it just like struck so deeply down to my core how incredibly sad it is that it was destroyed. And so I thought I would do my part and honor this beautiful warrior queen by researching her and making a video about it. So
I'm looking forward to it, to finding out
yes. So you haven't heard of this person before, have you? This beautiful queen? No, not many people have. I mean, I didn't until, recently, like I said. So as an overview, and then we'll kind of get into it, Zenobia was a queen of this civilization known as Palmyra. And Palmyra, or I might be pronouncing it wrong, but Palmyra was a part of the Roman Empire when she first came to power. And then she decided she did not want to be under no man and wanted to rule her own world, and went into rebellion. And it's kind of the story. She did kind of win for a bit. Like she was really incredible. This tiny little civilization just like overtook half of the East. It was just incredible. Or the Middle East. I don't know if it's, I guess the Middle East. Because it's all now located in modern day Syria and like Turkey and all that. So yeah, do you have any questions so far before I get deeper into it?
No, it's good. I'm good.
Okay. So I've got my notebook here, and that's why I'll be looking down. So this woman, first of all, how she came into power was she married this man. Her husband, it's like his name is some complicated name starting with an O that I won't even try to pronounce. And he kind of self-nominated himself as king or like emperor to this to this city Palmyra. And then he actually was like kind of doing some stuff. Like he was really getting somewhere politically, I guess. And that created a lot of rivals, of course. I mean, when you're powerful, especially back then, it's just making a target larger and larger on your back, really. And he actually got, I mean, I don't think this is definitively like proven, but it's kind of thought that he was murdered or assassinated by like a political rival or something. And so was his son, which was not, the son was not Zenobia's son. It was like her stepson. Right. So basically his whole line died except for their biological son. So there's still one son left called like Vabalathius or something. These names are like really complicated. So her husband died and there was no one now ruling this city, which by the way had been going on, I'm pretty sure, like I don't think it was created by Zenobia's husband or anything. I just think he was the first ruler of it. and he kind of like made it powerful in a sense. Like he really brought the power to this city and sort of set it up for Zenobia.
Yeah, right.
So the people loved Zenobia. I mean, I am saying that without any proof of this, but just by reading and researching her, it's very obvious that she was loved by her people because they allowed her to rule. As a woman back then, I don't think that was very common. And so she was very much respected and loved, and she, along with the people, like sort of nominated her as empress or queen, and like, which is kind of, I don't know, it's just really interesting to me because she did have a son. So it's like maybe the son at the start was like quite young. I'm not quite sure, but by the looks of it, I don't think he was that young. I think he could have still been the heir. So I don't know, like the direct heir. But anyway, she became queen, and she started doing some stuff. Like she really brought, like she just stepped up this civilization. It was already quite wealthy because it was along a silk trading route. Like it was in a really good location, so it already had a lot of money. But she was now taking power, and at this time she was part of still the Roman Empire at this stage, but she made some friends with Egypt, and she like went through, I think it's called Asian, oh, it's like Asia. Let me have a look. Asia Minor is what it was called back then. So she went through Asia Minor and Egypt, and she like inhabited, like she created her, what was a city basically into this huge landmass from like Asia Minor to Egypt and through Turkey, and like it was a big mass. She basically created another country.
Yeah, right.
And the Romans didn't like this, but she defeated them. She literally created an army of 70,000 soldiers and defeated the Romans with her army. She defeated the Romans, man. Like it was just, I don't know, when I heard about this I was like, wait, what? There was a woman that defeated the Romans with her army? Like why
Yeah,
is
you
this
don't hear
not?
about it much, do you?
No. To be fair though, in Syria and in a lot of countries like around Syria who like I think were a part like of her empire, geographically actually do know about her, and she's kind of a big part of their life. But over here in the Western world, we never hear of her, and I think that's just really interesting. So, which is another reason why I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, she defeated the Romans, and she like inhabited all this land, and she like was in complete rebellion with the Romans and declared herself as no longer a part of the Roman Empire. She was now independent. And like she got real with it. She at the city of Antioch, I might be pronouncing that wrong, major city in ancient Rome. The mint there, there's a mint there, and she got them to print coins with her face and her son's face on it, with titles that you would only call, like that only relate to the Roman emperor. And she put it on her coin with her face. Like she got a whole new coin. Like she was really, I don't know, I think that's so cool. I think that's really sassy of her to do that. And just, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, she got coins and like everything. And she was really smart about like the way that she ruled as well, because in her in her territory, the people that she ruled were all different cultures. So she morphed her image to like basically an overview that would cover all of her different people. So she was seen as an empress, she was seen as a queen, and she was seen as a monarch. She like really made sure that her image was suited to everyone under her reign, which I think is like really intelligent to do. To like morph your image to suit every single like culture that you're ruling over. However, the thing that sort of like she like, you know, that kind of fire that burns really strong but then goes out. That's what she was. So she only had rule over her, you know, this empire. It was only for like, I think it was 2 decades or so. It was a very short empire. I don't actually think it was even that long, actually. I think it was only maybe 10 years or so, because another emperor came into power. So what happened was the emperor that she was like, when she sorry, I'm trying to find my words. When she declared independence, that's when she defeated that other emperor, that Roman emperor, with her army. However, he eventually died and a new one came to power, as it always happens. And this new emperor was not having any of it. It was more of an egoic thing, because other than the like her like people saying that there's this queen, and other than her actually being a queen and having this new independence and this new like empire, that was really the only difference. There was not much else that was like, she wasn't invading their country, she wasn't like you know, she wasn't even like, it was kind of like she was just a splinter, you know, just like a little bit of an irritating thing to them. But I think because she was a woman, because she like won this battle against the Romans, this new emperor was like having none of it, and he went after her. And so he sent missions through Egypt, like through her territory, and she like, I guess not surrendered, but she didn't fight back. She just kind of submitted to it, and then they invaded. So like they didn't even have to invade because she had submitted, but then they invaded. And then there was another battle between the Romans and Queen Zenobia's army, and this time she lost. Not quite lost, but it was a defeat. She still survived these 2 battles, and then she was trying to go back to her main city of sorry, I forgot the name, Palmyra, like the main capital city of Palmyra. So she was making her way back after she lost the battles for a siege. Like that was what she was trying to get home to siege up the capital and, you know, do what she could to survive. But she got caught and she didn't make it to the capital city. And this is where the story kind of like ends in a weird way, because what actually happened was she was caught, but this new emperor didn't actually kill her like they killed the rest of the captives. He wanted to bring her back to Rome and like sort of parade her around as sort of a victory for him and like a punishment for her. And we don't actually know how she died. Like there's really no sure thing. There's just a bunch of conflicting reports. But the most likely thing that happened was he killed her quietly. Like he didn't make a public show of it. And that was like to keep his image stain free, you know, keep his image as pure as possible, because he wanted to be seen as like a merciful man, but he still wanted her dead. So he kind of just killed her and brushed it under the rug and didn't really make it a public thing. So that's kind of her overview of her story. But I wanted to delve into more of who she was as a person based off of the things that I've researched and what people have found, because I think this is really awesome. she was really one of the guys in a sense, but in the most beautiful way. Like, she rode her horse mostly. She didn't have a chariot or was fanciful with any of that. She rode her horse with her army, like, for miles on end. I mean, she did also have like a cart, or a carriage, but it wasn't like a fancy one for women, because back then I think there was like the fancy ones that women of high society would go in, and then there was just like the regular one, and she would just go into a regular one. And she would also ride her horse a lot, and she would drink with her like with the captains of her army and like the higher ups of her army. Like, what else did I write down? She wore a helmet and a girt. Like, she was really not scared to be herself. Like, she was
Mm.
really passionate about what she was doing, and that shows with how she acted. Like, wearing a helmet and a girt is like, I don't know, I think just really awesome and shows so much about her character. And oh yeah, her servants. I know this is kind of random, but her servants were like old men eunuchs. Like, she didn't have many young women maidens or like maids or anything. It was all of her servants were eunuchs, and like,
Why do you
but
think that was?
I don't know. Maybe it was a show of, well, I think because she probably wanted men, but she didn't want I don't know. Maybe she was scared of like having men with appendages to attack her with. I
Virile
don't know.
men. Virile
Yeah, and it
men.
was old men too. So yeah, I think that just also shows that she didn't want, like, she did have a few maids, I believe, but from the most part, she had old eunuchs. And yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to put it in because I don't know. I why do you think that is?
Probably to show that she was humble, maybe. That
Yeah.
she was, because from what you've described to me, she wasn't flashy,
No.
and she wanted people to see her as one of them, because she changed her appearance to suit um, the variety of people that were in her kingdom. Like
Yeah.
you said before, like she would change her look to fit in. So possibly that.
Mm.
I mean, and unique men, she could never be accused of sleeping with them, or
Oh, yeah, that's a
using
good
them in
point.
any way, or that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Or who knows, maybe those men couldn't get work, or
Yeah.
were considered by the society as useless, or not fit to work or whatever, and she wanted to give them a job. I don't know.
I definitely feel like everything that she did was strategic. Like, she never missed a beat, and nothing was ever caution to the wind, you know? She never threw
Yeah,
caution to the wind. She was always very mindful, and she knew what she was doing. And I think that shows with how she was projecting her image to all of the different cultures.
yeah,
Like, she was a very intelligent woman, and that's how she won against the Romans. That's how she held that land. Because I think, even though it was for such a short amount of time, the fact that she even did it when no other man could, there needed
mm,
to be a woman's mind to do it. And there's so many times in history that fail to miss that, what women
mm.
have done, the incredible things that the feminine power has achieved.
Yeah,
But I think the reason why that is because women don't see it as achieving a lot of the time. Like, it's not always about achieving, it's just like being without energy, just
yeah,
creating. And a lot of the time, like, she was so passionate about being independent from Rome. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's for the future of her generation. Like maybe it's for her um what's the opposite of ancestors? The people that will come after you.
For her future generations.
Yeah. And yeah, she wanted, I don't know why she was so set on it, but she was, and there's a reason why. And I think it just, yeah, it's just like really incredible that she stuck so strongly to what she wanted, and she got it.
Mm.
She
Mm.
literally built an army of, I think, 70,000. She did everything in her power to create the reality that she wanted, and she did it, even if it was only for a couple years. She did it.
Yeah. Maybe she wasn't aligned. Maybe the way the Romans were ruling their society didn't align with her values. And she felt like,
Probably.
independence was the future. Because, I mean, I think it's a radical idea. Independence is a radical idea, even today, for people to want the responsibility of their own freedom.
I know. You tell people I want to be independent from the government, and the crazy eyes that you get. Oh,
Yeah.
you can never do that. Why would you want to do that? You're insane,
Yeah,
you
or there
know?
must be, some kind of criminal intent.
Yeah. And I mean, look at Rome now, and it's the same as it was. Like, I mean, take away the technology and take away the modern day things, but strip it down, and all the things are the same from thousands of years ago, and there's hardly any women in there. I mean,
Mm.
back very early on in the Roman Empire, that's actually not to be said, because there was gods and there was goddesses, and the reason why that was because Romans actually they created their gods based on off of like all different kinds of religions and spiritual cultures. So like they took inspiration from Celtic deities and Celtic druidry and also from Egypt. Like they took inspiration from all cultures around them and then created their own gods. So they had like divine masculine, divine feminine, everything was in their culture. But then as time went on, it was destroyed. And you look at Rome now, and the only statues of women remaining are of like Mary Magdalene, of Mary, like
Mother Mary.
Jesus's mom. Yeah, Mother Mary, thank you. Um, and it's like of these like really, it's just the images of these women like all
From the
covered up with
Bible.
the veils. Yeah, from the Bible. But even originally, these women from the Bible weren't like that. Like the word virgin, so the Virgin Mary, the word virgin actually never used to mean like what it
What it
means
does
today.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, it meant I'm trying to remember. It meant someone who, like a woman, a very empowered, intuitive woman, kind of like someone who took power in their body, and like it never meant what it does now. So
Yeah.
back before, it probably, the Virgin Mary probably doesn't even mean what it does today. It probably referred to her being empowered in her choice of who she was doing the deed with. It's like
Yeah.
of who she was giving her body to. So I don't know. I just think it's really interesting looking at Rome today and seeing all these women depicted as like frail and fragile and like all got the timid and have the veils on and like are holding the baby, and like their face is not even fully looking. There's no power, in it. The power's been stripped away, and all they are is a mom, or like even, is it Mary Magdalene that's seen as the slut in the Bible?
Prostitute.
Yeah, that prostitute. Is that
Yeah.
right? Is it
Yeah.
Mary Magdalene? Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that's what we have to work with in the Bible, like in how it's been formed today. Even in Rome today, that's like the spectrum of women. And so I think maybe, who knows, maybe she Zenobia saw that. Maybe she saw that. Maybe she felt that. Maybe she just
Yeah,
didn't
quite
agree
possibly.
with, yeah, maybe she just didn't agree with what she was seeing. Maybe she just wanted to rule her own country. Maybe she didn't even have anything against Rome. Maybe she just wanted to have the power over her own empire. Maybe she believed something different. Like I would love to go back in time and talk to her. I think that's really what I would like to do if I could. And maybe I can in spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe you could meditate and call her in.
Yeah, it's just really awesome. I think being a warrior queen is something that I would love to say I did in a past life. It was, yeah, something I can put on things that I've done on my
On your resume.
Yeah, on my resume.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just really cool. And the second that I heard about it, I'm like, oh, I know what our next video is going to be. Because you don't hear about many warrior queens. There's not much. It's all hidden. Like, there is so many, though. It's just, it's not there. You have to go looking for it. And it's
Yeah.
so funny to me because with all the other warrior kings and masculine energies, you just have to go to school to learn about it. It's right. It's given to you. It's forced down your throat. And that's how you hear about it. But
Easily accessible.
yeah. But with this sort of stuff, you have to like come across it randomly because no one's going to accidentally research Zenobia. I mean, to be fair, I did accidentally come across it, but it wasn't an accident. It was meant on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's not very common to come across stories like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all my research. It wasn't too deep this time because I knew I wanted to talk more about how we felt about it and like what we think about it. So yeah, because
awesome.
I wanted to take the story away from what the history books say, because we never really know how true that is, and I wanted to focus it more on what she actually did. And yeah. I felt like that was a good way of.
Yeah, I'm happy you did because it was a nice change of pace.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was actually. Now I just have to figure out what we're going to do next week. Yeah,
Well, I'll be here listening and learning from you.
Yeah, I'm learning from you too. And I'm learning just as much as you. Like, I don't know. I can't wait until a year from now when my book, my notebook is filled, all the pages are filled with like all this ancient knowledge. It will be really interesting
awesome.
to see. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly what we aimed for.
Awesome. Thank you, Juliet.
Thank you. Okay,
and we'll see you here again next week.
Yes. On Friday, actually.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, on Friday. And then on Wednesday again.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, everyone.
All right, beautiful.
Good night.
Thank you.
Sending our love. Mwah.